Come on in, welcome to my home. I know it's sad to see it come down, but it's finally time to take down our Christmas decorations. And I am not going to lie to you, this took place over several days. So if you don't get your Christmas decorations down all in one day, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. I'm going to walk you through my steps. You will at the end of the week get to see just a speed version of this, but this is where I'm going to actually tell you what's going on because some of it might not make sense and it might look like I'm throwing things away that I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. If this is your first time here, remember to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I love putting out these videos for you. And the interesting part about this is I'm going from Christmas into winter, and I mean around here where I am, it's dark. It gets dark at like 5. It stays dark. So I did leave up some of the things so that I can actually have some light, but you will see that later on. But let's get started. Okay, so the first thing to do is to get down the snow and all of the decorations which are in the office. And the snow and the garland and all those things, it was really pretty and everything, but it's gotta come down simply because, well, I mean, no matter what, it looks like Christmas. And it does look like Christmas. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost. I'm not one of these people who's going to just throw away the snow and the fake snow and of course my homemade tinsel. I will reuse that over and over and over again simply because it's one of those things which, you know, you've made it. Why not use it over and over again? So I do store it. This year I put a lot of things into the big lawn trash bags simply because, well, it was easier that way. And then I put the other things that I could into the big clear bags so that way I could see them and, you know, pull them out next year when I use them next year. I already have my theme for next year. You are going to have to wait and see what that's going to be, but it's already chosen. One of the things that I do not do is take the lights off the fake pine because I don't want to redo it again. So I just leave the lights on there and then wind it up and put it away. I have a special spot for the fake pine, but not all the fake pine is coming down this year. Well, right now, simply because, like I said, it's really dark. It is still super duper dark in the evenings, so I'm going to leave some of that up so that I can turn the lights on when it's like, you know, 4:30 and it's dark in my house. And even today, it is noon, yeah, it's just about noon, and it is cloudy, rainy, and cold. So yeah, not gonna take that all down. It's sort of nice to get all of these things out of the way simply because you don't realize how much room all of your Christmas stuff takes until it's gone, and then once it's gone, it is gone and you have all that free space. I should tell you now that my theme for this January is going to be a like cabiny, lodgy kind of feel. So I did stick with, you know, a lot of pine and the pine cones. And originally I was going to go for this red kind of look, you know, with the red plaid and everything, but I decided, nope, that wasn't going to work. So you will see me put out the red plaid, and then you'll also see that when you see the final pictures, that gets taken away because I don't want to use that this year. I have found, a lot of people were surprised that I used the trash bags to put things in, and that was simply because they were just easier. I had them, so I use them, and I use them in lots of different ways. All of the fake pine goes into the trash bags, and it also helps that I seal it up so that way nothing gets on it, because last year there were some bugs that got into the fake pine. That did not make me happy. So I got all of that taken care of. I did put the fake snow into clear bags so that way I could see what it was, but it has its own, there are cases that it can go into. While I did not use this year, and I've used this fake snow for a few years, the one thing I regret, totally regret, I had like this glitter snow that I used a couple years ago, and it's embedded in the fake snow that I have. it still comes off everywhere. So I mean, it is still everywhere, and this has now been 2 to 3 years. Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of that. Now, I did put my ornaments in my ornament caddy. I do love the ornament caddy simply because I do different themes all the time. So this one is my black and white and snow theme. And I didn't use all the ornaments from it, but hey, it worked. So we got to put all those things away. And I can, then go room from room and carry that around and put stuff away. It's amazing how quickly this really goes when you have all the stuff that you need. The extra pine cones I did put in a plastic bag, but I did not get rid of them. I did not put them into the garage yet, simply because I know I'm going to be using them in other places, so I kept them out so that I could then fill up vases with them and jars with them, and that way they were all ready for me to use. And that was a nice thing about that. But getting all the lights and stuff down, that was an adventure. I want to stress, I am not throwing away any of the pine or any of those things. I'm saving it for next year. It's just the garbage bags are easy to put the stuff in. They're really tough, and they keep the pine from poking through, because some of the pine is actually from old Christmas trees that I kept the branches of it as the tree part either fell apart or pieces were missing or those sort of things. So I kept that and then reuse it, and the metal will not poke through the bag because these are construction bags. So they're big, they're sturdy, they're tough. The feather garlands and all those things, those just get reused over and over and over again. I don't know if I'll use them next year. We'll have to see how that works into next year's theme. I don't think it does. But taking everything down is its own adventure. If you have ways of separating out like items when you take them down, that is so important. That way you can have, like, let's say you want your string tinsel, you want your snow, you want your garland, your ornaments, you can have them separated out, because then if you do something different next year, you only have to grab the one thing that you need instead of grabbing everything and sorting through it and pulling things out. This way it is just so much easier to do. Try to make your life easy to do, and try to put things back in a way that makes sense. So the one thing which I always say is, when you're putting your ornaments and everything back, put your ornaments back first, then, so that when you pull it out, you're pulling out your Christmas trees, your garlands, the big things which you build upon, and that way you're not having, to step over boxes of ornaments and everything so that you can get out your stuff. Now, my Christmas tree, I can't take that down. It is all one big piece, so I covered it with a plastic bag, put it out in the garage, and it will live out there all year round, which is really, really nice. So yeah, it works real well. The amount of room that I regained by taking down my Christmas decorations is just, it surprises me. I mean, it surprises me each year that we regain that much room just by taking down Christmas decorations. That's sort of a nice thing, but it also is sort of sad, because you realize how empty your house feels without the Christmas decorations up. Alright, this year I got smart, because the glitter was everywhere. Glitter snow is everywhere. I used my vacuum. My vacuum was amazing to get the glitter snow off of things, like the tables, off the floor. That way it took up dust, because I hadn't been able to vacuum everything for ages while the snow was down. This way, it got everything up. I mean, and I do mean everything. It was so wonderful. So I just used the brush attachment on my vacuum, and instantly, glitter was up, snow was up, dust was up. That made cleaning so much easier, and I do mean a heck of a lot easier. Okay, one of the things which surprises everybody is the white poinsettia is a fake poinsettia. We've had it now for like a long time, and I mean a super long time. Probably 12 years, just covered over with a bag. And I mean, I used my whole vacuum cleaning thing everywhere. It went everywhere. It got off the stuff on top of the TV cabinet. It was just wonderful, and I do mean wonderful. I highly recommend using that, especially if you haven't cleaned things for a while. Now we're to the point where I am switching things out and realize, this is when I realize that, hey, the red idea is not going to work. So I get all of the things that, because I had gone with the Winter Wonderland, so I kept with most of the stuff which was white that's hanging down. That stayed mostly up simply to look like snow with my whole cabiny kind of theme. But everything else comes down, so that'll be switched out, as you will see in the closing pictures. Before you go and vacuum everything up, get all the stuff which you're taking down, because if you have a fake tree, if you have a real tree, it will drop needles everywhere, and that way you don't have to worry about it. You can just vacuum all of those things up all at once. So, and I like to clean from the, like I've always said, from the top down, so that way you can get those needles and everything up and out of the way. But I also like to have everything clean before I put out my new stuff, or the stuff for the next season. Okay, as my red plaid theme was still in my mind when I was doing this, yeah, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen at all. It's, I don't know, maybe in February we'll go with the red theme, but not right now. Not right now at all. So no. Okay, before you put up any of your stuff, make sure to wash it. Wash it, dry it, fold it, then you can put it away, so that way when you go to pull it out, it is all nice and clean. If you put away things that are stained, the stains can actually damage your material, especially like cloth, those sort of things. So clean everything before you put it away, so that way you're not going to have other problems. Especially if you get into things like that are wet, it can cause mildew, it can cause all sorts of things. So clean and dry. Make sure it's really dry before you put it away, because if you don't want to have mold when you pull out everything for the season. You'll also notice that I'm cleaning my things that I'm going to be using for January. My January decorating items are also going in, so yeah, that is a big thing to remember. Put clean things away, and I re-clean them when I take them out, just in case something happened to them while they were in their safekeeping area for the season. Okay, now we're getting out our January stuff. You'll get to see what this looks like when it's out, but we're getting it ready. I don't know why I'm folding it, because I'm about ready to use it, but I fold it anyway simply because I was just already in that kind of mood. But yeah, it is going out, and it's really nice to have a sort of neutral, calming kind of palette for this time of year. Let's talk about taking down the Christmas village. Taking down the Christmas village was a lot of work, and I honestly mean it was a lot of work. It was just as much work putting it up as it was taking it down, but I made sure that I put everything away in such a way that I can get it out again next year and not have it tangled up, because some of the lights were tangled up and those sort of things. But it took a lot of climbing up and down the ladder, and you'll notice that I did not cut out the times that I was off the ladder from this, because that's what happens. It takes a really, really long time, and it's just something you have to think about. It did look really nice, but I'm also glad that we're back to it being open and those sort of things. And then you realize how close the ceiling is to the top of your head when you're doing this. But I did enjoy it, but it's also nice to have it sort of open up there now. Once everything was down, it was time to put some things back up there so that it doesn't look completely bare and barren. In case you're wondering what the lights are up there for, it's so that when I record in the kitchen, that way you can actually see me. I separate out from the background. So yeah, my house is set up so that I can record in my kitchen, because, well, I do that quite often, as you've seen on this channel. But yeah, that's the whole taking it down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at my house set back up for January.
Did you ever stop and think, why I spend too much time.
Well, there you go. The house is set up for January. I hope you enjoyed that. We're ready to start the new year. 2020 will be a great year, and I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to check the description for some of the links to some of the products that I use. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. That way you know when I post a new video, and I hope I get to see you again next time. And take a look at these videos that I picked out just for you.